Now we can finally reveal this incredible home in Anna Bay, located just north of Newcastle.
Graham, Karina, I was excited to come to you today. I'd looked already at some images of the house. Now, I have an idea of what farmhouse, modern farmhouse means to me, that beautiful silhouette of a barn and those sort of Scandi details, but I think you've knocked it out of the park.
As far as the layout, coming up with a design that suited a large property is probably the most difficult thing we find, as a designer. When you have confined spaces, you find that in certain aspects you're restricted, but your parameters are a lot easier.
It's a great point that you make, Graham, because I'm used to a lot of more inner city, more suburban designs where we've got these set widths of blocks. You've got a really large amount of land here. What's the size of the block?
1 hectare.
1 hectare.
10,000 square metres, yeah. Like you said, it's quite considerable.
So we love the Scandinavian architecture as well as the New Zealand barn houses. So I would just get some pictures, show Graham, and he would just design what I wanted. So I loved the high gables, the black, the white, the black, and we would just bring it together.
We've got some natural timber elements, but otherwise the rest of the colour scheme, we've got this sort of almost a charcoal dark black, if you like, contrasting with an off-white. Talk me through how you placed that, and you've also got a great amount of texture on the front of the facade, which is really elevating the look of it and making it look more visually interesting.
James Hardie had a new product out and asked us would we like to use it. We did. It's on the white part of the building. It's all brushed concrete, which is very textural and looks beautiful with the white. Hardie Oblique is used on the black part of the building. That had only been released in New Zealand prior, and that's where I liked that elongated, different size boards. It's a pattern without being a pattern. So when you look at it, it's big, little, big, little, whatever it is.
So you've changed the widths of the boards?
No, they're different sizes. They're 300 and a 200, and I like the fact that you couldn't see a pattern when looking at it. It is a pattern, but it sort of blends in.
It makes that use of vertical line visually interesting, harking back to that Scandinavian look, I suppose.
That's right.
You decided to highlight that vertical line with the dark colour, with the black, and then keep the off-white on the more patterned board, the cladding. It does have a nice undulation, that surface. It does play nicely with light even during the day.
It does. It looks like it's nice to feel. And it was really nice to paint. We did a lot of the painting.
Good product. Both products we found were good to work with as well, and the finishing on it came up really well.
So tell us about the floor plan.
The floor plan was to take advantage of the north facing. The living area off the front and the kitchen is the focal of the home.
Yeah.
To me, that it needed to be large to bring the outside in.
So tell us about this amazing bath.
We were on holidays in Tasmania, and Graham said, I've bought a bath. I've just bought a stone black bath online for the new build. And I said, but there's nothing black in the house. And he said, but I've just bought it. So I had to pivot. It was his way of planting the seed to change what we're having. So I had to pivot and change. So it was supposed to be mainly white. So we changed the window, had to be full height, full depth, to showcase this beautiful bath that was centrepiece of this ensuite. And then the windows had to be black, because where do you put black if you just have one piece? You can't. Yeah, so the whole build pivoted around this black bath.
I really wanted black windows.
This was what you were working towards.
That's right.
There was a hidden agenda.
That's right. They're easy to look after as a builder. When you got whites and everything else, it's harder to keep clean. So
Well, I've got to say, I'll take my hat off to you, mate, because those black windows do give that beautiful sort of outline detail, and you picked up the dark elements on the front anyway. It looks like it's been sort of preconceived all the way along. I have never heard of a house being inspired by the bath. I think that's outstanding. But it's flowing through. I can see a dark island as well. I'm aching to go and have a look at this kitchen. Let's go and have a look at this beautiful space you've created. Now the kitchen is important in any home, but in this particular house, it's in the centre of the home. It's a very large room and you almost see it as you walk through the front door. So of course it had to be a standout.
So the kitchen is the first time we've done a two-tone, and I really love the black cockatoo, which throws a lot of green in the base. It looks like black, but it's not. It's got a really deep
A little bit
green.
you can see it in
yeah,
that
you
light.
can.
I hadn't seen it until you mentioned it.
Yes, with the brushed brass fittings, and I've just gone natural white on the other cupboards, all satin finish. I like the satin finish
Me
for
too.
kitchens.
This is a beautiful space to walk out into, the continuation of the raked ceilings out here into the alfresco. It just adds such a feeling of volume to what is already a big area.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And again, coming from large families and loving the outdoor space, indoor, outdoor, we've linked it all here. We're big believers in getting out as much as possible. Again, the use of Hardie's, Oblique and the brushed concrete products and the timber tones, we felt straight at home here. Like the environment was just so warm, and you sit down, the first day we sat down here, just like, oh wow, this feels like home.
It's an outstanding collaboration between two people who have a passion for what they're doing.
It's been a pleasure to show you through. It's always nice to see what we created through someone else's eyes. It's been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you.